Got Jane of the jungle over here playing around with the vines. We're out here at Siloam Springs. It's about a little less than an hour drive from where we live. It's the first time we've ever been out here. We're hiking one of the fire lanes into our camp. We're gonna camp in one of the hike-in spots. But we kind of wanted to take this way in, drop our gear, and then we're going to do a little bit more hiking later. But really beautiful out here for central Illinois. It's we're down in the kind of in the river valley, so a lot of variety of flora, a lot of different tracks so far. Seen some deer tracks, a lot of raccoon tracks, things like that. So seen a lot of deer actually in the road and alongside the road on the way in here. So really beautiful place. We'll be back with you here in a little bit and let you know what's going on. Got some common plantain here. Antibacterial, really good for use as a poultice. A lot of other good medicinal and edible uses for that. Yeah, I know, I need to invest in a helmet cam. Looks like we got some pokeweed. Place out here is very cool. It's really diverse, mostly hardwoods, but we have these little patches of pine here and there. And you turn around, look on the other side of the trail, it's all hardwoods: oak, hickory, maple. I do believe this here is a pawpaw tree. This here is sassafras. It's one of my favorite trees. You can make a really tasty tea out of the roots. Well, we finally made it to our campsite. It's actually quite a bit more manicured than I thought. It's all mowed off and got a fire ring back there, a little firebox. We even have an outhouse over here. Don't look like it'll be anything too pretty, but it is there. A nice little area for a group to hike in and camp, so I have to keep that in mind in the future. I'm on my way down to the creek to catch up with Beth. I dumped the water bottles into a 1-gallon Ziploc bag back at camp, taking the filter and the water bottles down to the creek with me, get those refilled, since we were headed down here anyway. It's kinda icky, but if I didn't know there was a creek down here at the bottom of the hill, there'd be a way for me to get a little bit of water. You always got to keep your eyes open. I spy with my little eye a tasty little snack. Everybody else always finds it. It's always nice and clean and everything. Every time I find it, it's got leaves stuck in it. Am I the only one? I never find it as good as it is on TV. Some of the bigger part here is going to be tough, so what you really want is these thinner outside parts here. That's the good stuff right there. But we'll take all this back up there. Keep our eye out for more as well. Well, we found some water down here. Not a big creek. It seems like I might be able to hear water to the left down there a little bit. We're going to go check out, see if we can find a bigger source, but if nothing else, we'll just get it out of here. You can see there's been some animal activity coming up here to this pool, which you can expect that, so definitely going to need to filter that or boil it. In this case, we're going to use our filter, so I'd say we found the creek. After examining the creek, we decided we're just going to go back up, get our water out of that little pool. just kind of filter out some of the debris. It won't really actually filter the water and make it better quality. It'll just take some of the sediment or leaves or bug larvae or anything like that. I'll take that and carefully pour it into my bag here, Sawyer bag. I don't want to spill it all over the place because I don't want this dripping down into my good water. So I want to be kind of careful. Fill that bag up. Take our Sawyer filter, screw it on there. We'll take our water bottle, give a little bit of a squeeze, and if you're patient, it'll kind of feed itself. You can kind of squeeze it to speed it up a little bit. I do believe that is wild ginger right there. Looks similar to a violet, but not quite. This area here looks different if you look really close. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. There's a pretty good comparison there. You have the wild violet on the left there, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that's the wild ginger there. They look fairly similar, but when you have them right next to each other, you can see they look different. Okay, so we have these hammocks. I can't remember what brand they are. Equip, I think is what they're. Equip brand. Beth got them yesterday on clearance out at Walmart. I'm supposed to get down into the 50s tonight, so I have a Mylar pad in there for me, and I just got my whoopee. I should be good. I sleep really, really warm. For Beth, I went ahead and put on the Snug Pack under blanket, and then she's got the patrol bag from the MSS. But these Equip hammocks, we don't know really. They seem to be made okay, but they do have the bug net, which my other hammock did not have. So she saw them and snagged them up, so we thought we'd give them a try. Beth over there getting the fire prep ready. Beth and I just came across an authentic Smurf village. They all scattered, of course, when we come running up here, but you can see their little houses. In all seriousness, though, I was checking this out. I'm not really sure what that is. Looks like that'd be a good spot to set a snare. Here we have a black walnut tree. You can see the young walnuts. They're not mature yet, but when they're mature, the green holes on that walnut contain natural iodine. There's a lot of uses for the black walnut. You can research, and just tons and tons of uses. Very useful tree. You can see some little hickory nuts on the ground there. Got this shagbark hickory. Another very, very useful tree. Speaking of useful trees, here's a young sugar maple. Sugar maples, of course, are famous for being able to tap them to get your maple syrup. This is the first cottonwood tree I've seen down here. I was surprised there wasn't more. I haven't seen a whole lot of cottonwood or sycamore. All the water down here, you'd think you'd get more of those. Pretty good sized deer track there. Beautiful down here. Now I'm into the sycamores and the cottonwoods. You can see a sycamore in the front there, the smaller tree. Then cottonwood in the background, eastern cottonwood. Populus deltoids. You can see the sycamore up at the top. The bark starts stripping off and it leaves that white, bald look. Very distinctive. Actually quite a bit of uses for both of those trees too if you do some research on them. There's that thick bark from the cottonwood. The outer bark makes good bearing block for bow drill. There's a pretty good sized sycamore there. Kind of growing funky but still hanging on strong. Walking down through the creek here and I found a little deposit of clay. Here we have some wood nettle. It's related to stinging nettle. It is edible and you can use it as cordage, but do beware because much like its cousin, it will bite you. It is not a tumor. Whole field of wood nettle. Be a lot of string. And if you fell in there, it would not be a good time. This would be an excellent find if we was building a shelter. We'd have a good start on our shingles. Along this little stream here, come across this old building, collapsed building. Not sure what it was. We'll have to ask the ranger, see if he knows.
Take off my shoes and sit on that picnic table.
It's okay, you can turn the camera off. Tonight's menu is macaroni and cheese boiled in skink water. Just like Mommy used to make. Lightning bugs everywhere. Pretty, ain't it, honey?
Mm-hmm.
We just ate some macaroni and cheese and some beef sticks. So it was actually pretty good. Just kind of sitting around. Got a small fire here. Beth's drying out her boots and her socks. She got them a little wet in the creek. But other than that, we're just chilling out, hanging out, and not a whole lot going on at the moment. We got some fireworks going on in the distance. A lot of lightning bugs going on. It's real quiet and peaceful other than the fireworks. I expect they'll probably be done sometime here soon. So, but anyhow, that's probably it for the night. I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Just got the fire stoked back up. We got the water on, getting ready to boil for coffee. Alright, well, it's about 8 a.m. We got everything all packed up and ready to take off. Make sure we got all of our trash picked up and everything. And got Beth's pack over there, and there's mine. They're a little bit lighter. We're not going to have near as much water weight. We're minus a little bit of food. Plus, I packed things just a little bit tighter, at least in my pack, for making a little more space. So we're going to head up out of here, and we'll probably catch back up with you along the way. We're hiking Red Oak Trail out of here, and you can see there's a red oak right here. And it just happens to be red oak everywhere along this trail, so I'm assuming that's where it gets its name. When you're walking the trail in the morning, you always got to look out. So it's always a good idea to grab a little stick and keep an eye out for them spider webs. You can see they're all over down this trail, if you can see through the glare of the sun. So being typical humans, we're just going to go through and destroy their homes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I mentioned all the pine yesterday as we was walking through here, and upon studying it, it looks like almost all of it's Pinus resinosa, red pine. So it'd be a good place to hunt for fatwood for sure. Here we have a more mature honey locust, and you can see there, them thorns, they can get pretty, be pretty formidable there. They're all over that one there. Well, we finally made it just about back up to the vehicle. We're going to go see about maybe renting a canoe. I don't know, it's Sunday, we'll see if anybody's here. If so, we'll be back with you. Well, it looks like they serve food in here, so we're going to get in here and check about a canoe or a boat and maybe get us a little bit of food. Out here at Siloam Springs, we just got lured in by the tempting smell of bacon and biscuits and gravy we couldn't resist. Got up here to check on a canoe, and they have a little food here, and you can rent boats and canoes. Nice little lake, so we're going to sit out here and enjoy the scenery, and we're going to eat our food, and we'll be back with you soon. Here we have a river birch tree. Much like the white birch, you can use this bark here for tinder. It makes really good tinder. You can also tap the birch trees for a source of hydration. You can also make syrup as well, much like the maple. Mating season for the dragonflies. Good grief, they're everywhere. Get a room, guys. Pretty much made our way to the other end of the lake. Just about. few other boaters out here today. A really beautiful day. Everybody's having a good time, enjoying the beautiful weather. Beth, she's just trying harder than heck to catch something. We're using hand lines here. That's really all we brought with us. We was expecting just to do basically just hiking and camping. We wasn't really expecting to do the canoe thing, but it was a very, very welcome surprise. First time Beth's ever been in a canoe, and she's the one kind of guiding us around the edge of the lake here. She's doing a pretty good job. Got it made. I'm just kind of kicked back right now, letting her do all the work. The canoeing is really a lot of fun. Definitely going to have to invest in a canoe. Well, I'd really like to thank Beth here for surprising me with this trip to Siloam Springs. It was an excellent surprise. Really had a lot of fun. There's a lot of activities out here. You can rent canoes and kayaks and boats, and there's a lot of hiking and camping. Just any outdoor activity you can think of, you can do around here. There's a gun range, archery range, fishing, just whatever you can think of, they have it out here. So what'd you think of the trails?
I thought they were awesome. There's a lot of things to see.
Yeah, some of the trails, I mean, they were kind of just like mowed off, but they had nice little areas where you kind of get off trail and go down in and explore the creeks and stuff like that. And they have a lot of rock formations and stuff like that around here that we don't necessarily have right there at home. So it's only about 45 minutes away from the house, so we'll definitely have to come back. Anyhow, I'll leave you guys alone, let you get back to doing whatever you're doing. I'm Kevin.
I'm Beth.
Thanks for watching.